we're going to talk about Marcel Zanolari. So, unlike the other two that I would say are somewhat classical, I would say where Jarupi is maybe rock and roll. Here we have Mozart. I don't know, I would say something, maybe we're looking at like electronic dance music here. Just throwing it out there. So Marcel is somewhere in between the Jolly Green Giant and James Bond. And you might think that sounds a bit bizarre, but I'll show you a picture here. So this is just to get an idea of his personality. Marcel is someone who loves to experiment. He's fearless. He loves trying new things. He's a daredevil. He isn't afraid of anything, and he doesn't do it for the shock factor. He does it because he really enjoys it. So aside from winemaking, he loves hiking at incredibly steep, high elevation and paragliding. So he's up for adventure and just always looking for what's next. So he grew up with his father, who was making wine, and his father was doing things quite naturally. And I think Marcel always appreciated the fact that nature should be always in the center of everything, and that's exactly what he decided to do when he started his own project. So his wines are biodynamic, Demeter certified, so that you can see this little symbol at the back here, Demeter, which is the most rigorous set of standards for natural wines. So it's not an easy certification to receive. So these are all natural. And I'm not going to go into natural wines or biodynamics. Google it if you're interested. It's just a very natural way of making wine that allows for a sustainable environment in the vineyard and the cellar. So this is his Rosso. This is probably the most classic, I would say, of any of his wines, and it's anything but. His wines are just out of this world. It takes you to another realm. These are, in some ways, you think, gosh, these are almost from a different planet because they're so different, yet that the Valtellina Nebbiolo, minerality and the acidity, just you can taste the DNA through all of these wines. But his take on it is just incredible. They're just fascinating wines. I wouldn't call them, cerebral wines that you imagine, someone older sitting around just swirling for hours and hours and smelling, although you can do that. They're just absolutely beautifully made, and there's just so much purity. They tend to be a little bit lighter. I would say I find the tannins a little bit softer on his wines, but that's just maybe one of my observations, particularly with the Nebbiolo. And he also experiments with Pinot Noir, with Pinot Blanc, and some other varietals that are not native to Valtellina, but he just enjoys experimenting, and I have to say they're absolutely phenomenal. So, there's wine for everyone, and I think you can't ask me to pick a favorite. I'll drink any Valtellina, honestly. If something says Valtellina on it, I get excited. But breaking them down, it's always nice to kind of understand a bit more about their personalities, and figure out which wine you're in the mood for. So if it's a Wednesday night, maybe this is a Wednesday night Rosso, or maybe it's a Wednesday night single vineyard from Sandro Fai, or maybe it's a Wednesday night party with the Jarupi guys. So whatever flavor you choose, you're going to be incredibly well rewarded. So until next time, cheers, and to Valtellina!